Welcome back, football fans. Big updates are coming out of Barcelona as 17-year-old wonderkid PEDRO Fernandez begins a special training program to bulk up and prepare for La Liga, but a knock has ruled him out of this weekend's match. Meanwhile, HANSI Flick's UEFA ban has officially been lifted just in time for Barcelona's huge clash with Newcastle United. On the injury front, Gavi has suffered another setback, set to miss at least 6 weeks, putting his El Clásico participation in serious doubt. Plus, we'll take a quick look at PSG's brutal Champions League group that includes Barcelona, Bayern, and Tottenham. Stick around for all the latest updates. Just 17 years old, PEDRO Fernandez has already carved out a place for himself in HANSI Flick's Barcelona first-team dynamics this season. Having first been called up to training towards the end of the previous campaign, the 17-year-old continued in the senior setup this summer in the preseason and has featured in the matchday squad for all 3 La Liga matches so far. DRO starts personalized training program. While still waiting to make his official debut for Barcelona's first team, Sport reveals that PEDRO Fernandez has now begun a tailored fitness plan aimed at building muscle and adapting to the physical demands of La Liga. Designed by the club's medical staff, the program focuses on improving his strength and power. Alongside regular team sessions, DRO is already working on individual exercises to boost endurance and physical resilience, preparing him step by step for top-level football. Coaching staff impressed with DRO. HANSI Flick and his coaching team are extremely pleased with the youngster's rapid progress. Considered one of the standout performers in preseason, DRO has already won over both teammates and staff. His technical quality is undeniable, but what has impressed most is his maturity on the pitch, showing composure, intelligence, and control far beyond his years in midfield. DRO interprets the game very well, knows when to accelerate and when to pause, and transmits calm in moments of pressure. Now, the coaches want him to take another step forward physically and have already launched a plan to achieve this. The idea is for him to follow the same path once taken by Pedri and Lamine Yamal, who also needed to reinforce this aspect. The objective is to build muscle mass and strengthen the physical component that is increasingly important in elite football. An up-and-coming member of the midfield ranks at La Liga giants Barcelona will not be available for the club's return to action this weekend. That's according to Mundo Deportivo, who point towards PEDRO Fernandez as the player in question. Youngster DRO had for his part been tipped to be afforded a call-up to HANSI Flick's first-team Barcelona squad to face Valencia this weekend. As much comes with the Blaugrana currently short on options in the middle of the park. Both Gavi and Frenkie de Jong are set to miss the fixture through injury. As alluded to above, however, if the latest word stemming from the Spanish media is anything to go by, then DRO will not be available to fill the gap in Flick's engine room ranks. As per a report from MD, PEDRO Fernandez, better known as DRO, will not be able to play Barça Athletic against Andratx in Mallorca this Saturday, and it is clear that he will also miss the first team's match against Valencia. The 17-year-old is understood to be dealing with the after effects of a knock suffered versus Paredes last weekend. Barcelona manager HANSI Flick has had a touchline ban lifted by UEFA, allowing him to sit on the bench for the upcoming clash with Newcastle United. That's according to Marca, who report that the Barcelona manager and coach Marcus Sorg will be allowed to sit on the bench against Newcastle. The newspaper explained that both coaches had been suspended by UEFA for one match following incidents that occurred at the end of the match between Barcelona and Inter in the semi-finals of the Champions League last season. Barcelona were knocked out at that stage. Barcelona appealed the decision, and that has now been partially accepted by UEFA, who have lifted the one-game suspensions for both. The Catalan side argued that the sanctions imposed were neither appropriate nor proportionate in their appeal, even arguing that the ambiguous nature of the offense meant the pair shouldn't be punished as they had been. That was seemingly accepted by UEFA and the suspension suspended for a year. This means that both will be able to manage Barcelona in the match against Newcastle. However, if they commit similar incidents throughout the Champions League season, the sanction will be reimposed. Barcelona's Gavi was expected to come back stronger this season after spending last year recovering from a cruciate ligament injury. However, the 21-year-old has now picked up a meniscus problem that will sideline him for over a month. According to Gerard Romero, Barcelona's medical team evaluated the midfielder on Friday after 2 weeks of rest, having already missed the clash against Rayo Vallecano. For now, the plan is to stick with conservative treatment and avoid surgery if possible. The club and Gavi will reassess his progress next week to decide whether recovery is going well or if an arthroscopy will be necessary. Gavi out for at least 6 weeks. Since Marca have reported that regardless of whether he follows a recovery plan based on rest and minimal intervention, or has surgery, he will be out for at least 6 weeks. Even if he does rest, their information is that he will not return before the October international break. Barcelona return to action against Girona on the 18th of October. Should he have the arthroscopy, then he will need 6 weeks to recover from that, but even if the conservative treatment functions and the recovery period is less, he will not be back before the Girona game. What games will Gavi miss? The big disappointment for Gavi is that his presence in El Clásico on the 26th of October, a week after the Girona game, looks unlikely or in all probability minimal. Between those two clashes, the Blaugrana host Olympiacos in the Champions League. Before the international break, Barcelona have 7 games: Valencia H, Newcastle United A, Getafe H, Real Oviedo A, Real Sociedad H, Paris Saint-Germain H, and Sevilla A. Marc Casado and Frenkie de Jong are HANSI Flick's clear alternatives alongside PEDRO, although Marc Bernal may be back in contention shortly. The 2025-26 UEFA Champions League phase is set, and PSG face a challenging journey. After a slow start in last season's campaign, the French champions are keen to kick off strongly. High-profile clashes with Bayern Munich and Barcelona loom large, while a matchup with Tottenham Hotspur offers a quick rematch of their intense UEFA Super Cup battle just weeks ago. PSG will also contend with Newcastle United and Athletic Bilbao, with Bayer Leverkusen, Atlanta and Portuguese champions Sporting Lisbon rounding out a tough path to the knockout stage. Barcelona could be without key player. Mundo Deportivo reports that Gavi is still dealing with pain in his right knee from the injury he picked up against Levante and will be sidelined for the clash with PSG. While Barcelona could be without a key player, the capital club will have one of its top talents ready to go. Le Parisien reports that Desire Doué could make his return to the team for the trip to Barcelona. Despite suffering an injury during the international break, it appears that Doué might only miss one Champions League game. And there you have it, Barcelona's young gem DRO is being prepared for greatness. HANSI Flick is back on the bench just in time, and Gavi's latest injury blow could shake up the season. With El Clásico and Champions League battles on the horizon, the pressure is on for Barca to step up. What do you think? Will DRO become the next big star from La Masia? And how badly will Gavi's absence hurt Barcelona? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Barca and Champions League news.